hands down, across the board. Even if the job markets get better and the percentages of unemployment come down, they're still remarkably increasing in service and trades. And the ratio to exit and entrance into our industries in all of the trades, not just us, but it specifically affects us more because we have multiple trades. So there's more people leaving the industry than we could ever fill in. So right now we are at a continuous, ongoing, never-ending loss of people, shrinking of our workforce until we do something drastically different. It is going to get more and more difficult, and I mean remarkably more difficult, to find qualified personnel, and not just technically qualified, socially qualified, the hard skills, the soft skills, the emotional quotient, someone that's good with people, not just good at making repairs. And those are two very difficult skills to find together. And as the workforce declines and ages out, it's going to be more difficult. And right now, Generation X is pushing 60. A lot of times people think when you talk about the future generations, it's all doom and gloom, and it's not. Generation Z, mark my words, they're going to save all the trades, the bottom half. They're far more interested in trades, meaningful jobs, working with their hands, not dealing with bureaucracy and the corporate culture. And they want to just do things by themselves where they can see a start and a finished product and feel like they made an impact. However, entering the workforce, they have zero trade skills. All the trade skills are pretty much gone out of the United States right now. And if you started today, it would take 4 to 5 years for people to get at a moderate level skill set. So even if we started today and we had everything aligned perfectly, it would take 5 years for us to get this in the workforce. So I think we need to really get ahead now because Generation X is pushing 60. They're only going to be around for a few more years, which will lead us into other questions later, I'm sure. They're in the service business, and what they want to do is something meaningful. Now, if you're, say it's a short-time temporary job, well, that's fine. That you can get those anywhere. But if you're looking for a career, we need to make it known. We need to make sure people understand what they're getting into. They're going to learn trades. You're going to get paid decently. And some of the companies are now starting to get a little more creative and innovative with what they're doing to attract employees and to keep them. And I say this every time, and I don't give out the company's names because they get flooded with people trying to recruit their associates. But there are companies in this industry right now, as we speak, that have a waiting list to get in. I run a business. I have two, and I don't know anyone that wants to make less money. Let's just start there. But at some point, you got to stop cutting expenses and have a standard operational quality standard, whatever that is. So, you see this a lot with companies, especially when they try to grow too fast. They try to offer too many products or too many services. And it's like, I can use Starbucks as an example. How about you just serve a regular cup of coffee in less than 3 minutes? You shouldn't have three people in front of you and it takes 30 minutes to get your drink. If you were to ask my opinion on what the trades are, I can make a list of trades, right? It's easy for all of us to do. The simplest thing to do is just run a history on your property and see what people are repairing the most, what's costing you the most money, and start there. The thing is, and this is a culture shift, if people are into the trades, and let's say they went to college, they didn't go to college, doesn't matter, right? There's people that are brilliant that could just look at an engine and somehow they know how to take it apart and rebuild it. Then there are some that have gone to classes and they have no idea, and everything in between. We have to figure out what we're doing, but I recommend no matter what, it doesn't matter what you say, you're going to training and you better have a good attitude. In fact, if you don't spend money on preventative maintenance and training as a manager, you're not getting your bonus. Once this centralization thing is kind of settled down, a greater focus on getting back to the practical daily routines of old school approaches to running a service department. And I think that's about it. I don't think there's really going to be anything crazy, but there are some new tools coming out, and the new refrigerants are finally going to be settled in 2025. And I will say this for everyone, please listen to this. There is no such thing as a drop-in refrigerant. And if you just drop in a refrigerant, you can avoid the warranties. Don't listen to salespeople, look at engineering reports. We want you to do these things, not to give you a hard time, not to scare you. We want you to allow the technicians in the field to do a quality work that lasts for 20, 30, 40 years. It's not about giving you a hard time in the beginning.